Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 313. My name is Rob Hoback. Happy that you're here, honored and humbled that you continue coming back. For reals. Love it. Thank you. So PSAs. Yesterday was episode 312, 312, and talked about how that's the area code for downtown Chicago and the Loop. And so, we got a nice comment from King James, shouting out to the South Side. Saw him at the football game yesterday and said, "Hey, bro, you do realize that like downtown Chicago is not the South Side, right?" He's like, So we had this conversation, and then I came to the realization, like, look, as much as I value King James and I appreciate him shouting out, this is my YouTube channel. I get to set the record straight. So I did some research this morning and confirmed that area code 312 is for downtown Chicago. It's bordered, it listed its borders, and it's at 35th Street on the South Side, right? The Loop, you're south of that, right? South side's down, 43rd, right? So stay in the 708, bro. Just let the 312 do their thing. This ain't about you. All right, all joking aside, seriously, I appreciate it. Today it's the 313, which is the area code for Detroit, and I've got a couple 313s in my contacts, and my assumption is that if I had Kid Rock's phone number, he'd be a 313 too, right? Just saying. All right, it's a Sunday fun day. It's time to get to work. There aren't any days off, and we're chasing the best life possible, so let's go. First things first, I'm still the realist. I'm also protective, which is why this is like take 5 as I'm cycling through my anger for the way the situation was handled yesterday. And this is what I tell people. So last night, yesterday was first day of game, first football game, first real one, right? We talked about this yesterday. And so we got smoked 19-0, right? I don't think we even had a first down. It was pathetic. And so last night had a cookout, decided that I'm going to have a cookout after every home football game. Yeah. And so, had a lot of people here and people like, man, I expected you to be mad. I'm like, what am I going to be mad about? There's nothing, me being mad doesn't change anything. But just because you don't see the anger doesn't mean that it's not in here, that there's not a fire raging, that I'm not plotting and scheming how to get my revenge. I'm going to live my best life, and I'm going to teach my kids to live theirs too. So, right? Just because you're not walking around yelling and screaming doesn't mean you're upset. All right, so the topic of the day is run that back turbo, right? We used to do weekend review, but Sam introduced me to this concept, this ad-lib from rappers, like run that back turbo. I love it. So we're going to run that back. We're going to talk about some things that we observed this week. So first of all, I want to talk about my son, right? He's a perennial all-star, right? Everybody knows it. And again, got beat 19-0, couldn't even get a first down, and my son could not one single touch. Scored over 50 touchdowns in his career, 0 touches. That shit will make you angry, right? Especially when you realize that Sam and a couple other kids aren't getting the playing time that they should, or getting their number called because the coach doesn't like me because I've stood up to him before. So it's like, all right, what do you do with that? Do you lash out? Do you make a pissed off YouTube video? Like, no, we're just going to process that. We're going to turn it into fuel, and we're going to live well, and that will be the best revenge. And I told Sam, I'm like, dude, every time you want to quit, every time you get mad, find a place to go. And I'm going to recommend this. Watch Michael Jordan's speech where he invited that coach that cut him and made him sit there and watch him get inducted to the Hall of Fame. Like, you were wrong, dude. You were wrong. And if you can do that, if you can train your mind to take that anger, just rage as you're sitting there on the sideline watching people who are not better than you get the ball repeatedly tackled for 2 and 3 yard losses. So where you got to go, man. Otherwise, it'll drive you crazy. So that's number one, right? So this is going to be a tough one for us to get through, right? Because I would just as soon punch people in the face than try to reason with stupid people. But you can't, right? The second thing was, so I was at a work meeting this week and was chatting with an executive that worked for another company that is a very, very cool company. And when I say cool, I mean, they got it all going on. They got lots of money, lots of revenue, got great products, got a great brand, and they have a great culture where people at their company are genuinely invested and engaged and want to see their company do well, right? And so as I was chatting with this executive, he's like, yeah, sometimes I got to pinch myself. It's like, is this real, right? And even as a visitor, right, somebody who's doing business with it, you come in like, wow, this place is amazing, right? Because it's rare. It's 2 out of the 10. If you think about all the companies that you've either worked for, done business with, 8 out of 10 of them, you're like, yeah, that's not what I had in mind, right? That's not the way that should be. And so instead of, again, getting all upset about, hey, I work for one of those 8 out of 10 that ain't where it should be, we should just applaud the ones that are 2 out of 10. We should try to do business with them, right? And if you do a good enough job, maybe they'll offer you a job. Who knows, right? So that was a reminder, 8 out of 10. And then you apply that to football, like, well, 8 out of 10 coaches are going to suck. Like, oh, yeah. And sometimes, remember, 8 out of 10 means you go from 0 to 8. So some coaches might be 7s, right? And while they're not perfect, they're better than the 1s. And trust me, when you get with one of these down here, over here, I would argue that somebody who is petty and allows their personal distaste for people, yeah, that's worse than the person that doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, yeah, can somebody help me over here, right? Yeah, a stupid person who thinks they're smart, good luck with that one. All right, last one is Andrew Luck. So last night after all this is done, we're here, and the announcement comes out that Andrew Luck is retiring from football. He's 29 years old. He's on pace to break all of these records, be an all-time great. He said, I can't take it anymore. Sick. I'm hurt again. Not sick, hurt. So, he already sat out all of 2017. For those of you who don't know, he hurt his shoulder. He has given his blood, sweat, and tears to the city of Indianapolis. And he just finally said, enough is enough. I can't take it anymore. And he informed the Colts this week that I'm out. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to retire. Sure, it came as a shock to them, and it came as a shock to all of us, until you stop and you listen to the other guys on TV who played NFL, and they're like, oh, yeah, man. Like, you get in that cycle where, as Andrew said, it's the cycle. Injury, pain, rehab. Get better? Injury, pain, rehab. And again, I've listened to enough talk radio that everybody who used to play is like, yeah, that whole rehab thing, that's a lot of work. You don't get any reward for it. It's usually done in solitude. There's nobody cheering you on. It's awful, right? And for him to do it time after time after time. And then you realize, like, oh, yeah, Andrew Luck's dad is a very accomplished guy. He played in the NFL. He went on and became, an executive with the NCAA, like their athletic commission. He now is, I believe he's the president of the XFL, an accomplished man who's probably financially secure and was able to look at his son and be like, son, you've already made enough money. You've made more money already than most people will generations. So don't chase the paycheck. Even though there's $500 million waiting there for you, you'll never be happy. Once you come to that realization, like, I'm moving on, you're educated, you're smart, let's just move on, right? So good for him. Again, very, very rare. Most of us are going to chase that money back. I can't leave, right? Look at all that money over there. I'm not going to be happy. Andrew Luck said, yeah, you can keep your money. I'll be over here. I'm going to do something else. Do something else that makes me happy, right? So lots of lessons for us this week, right? With that, we're done for the day. Hands up, peace out. We're better together. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Bye. Shout out to the 313.